and I wanted to make a video because I felt like talking, and I wanted to talk about stories. I didn't get very many questions. I might make another video tomorrow or something if I get more questions, but I just wanted to talk about the questions that I got. And the first couple of questions I got were from Helen, and they're about Featherverse, which I don't really call it Featherverse. I don't want to call it Featherverse anymore because I don't like that name. I think it's a dumb name. The name of the series which exists in this universe is To Live Not to Exist, which is from a poem. I don't remember who it's by, but it's the one that goes, I would rather be ashes than dust, and I really like that poem, and I think it works really well with Featherverse. Featherverse, I just call it because it's easy, I guess. Anyways, Helen asked, where do you get your ideas for all your stories? It's not really about Featherverse, that's for all of my stories, isn't it? I get my ideas from a lot of places. I got the idea from Featherverse came from the fact that I really like happy endings, and Supernatural doesn't seem like it's going to have happy endings, so I decided I would write a version where it did. Basically, I call it Featherverse because this is kind of a dumb reason. One of the things that happens in it is eventually, not at the beginning, but eventually Dean gets this he gets his hands on a bunch of, like, physical manifestations of Cass's feathers, and he makes a pendant out of them. And that's pretty cool, I guess. I get my ideas from a lot of places, from, like, random moments that happen that I really want to, expand on, or the idea. I have a story about purgatory, I have a story about, the end verse, which is really painful, but I have a story about it. Anyway, I get ideas from a lot of places. What do I like most about Dean and Cass's relationship? It's a hard question to answer, but I kind of like, I feel like they complement each other well. Like, they have a lot of problems, but they also have a lot of things that bring them together and a lot of understanding, and their personalities fit together pretty well, I guess. Chrissy's and Liza's. If you don't know, Chrissy is an original character, as is Liza. Chrissy is Dean and Cass's illegally adopted daughter in Featherverse, and Liza is a demon who is Chrissy's best friend and later girlfriend. At first they started out as enemies, they were worst enemies, they keep running into each other, and Chrissy hates Liza, and Liza hates Chrissy too. It's a disaster. But they keep ending up in these circumstances where they have to work together, and eventually they kind of form this friendship, and kind of fall in love, I guess. And it's really, I really like Chrissy and Liza's relationship because it's part of, Chrissy has some tension with her family, especially with Dean, because, and when she's a kid, it's just not there, but when she grows up, he kind of doesn't want her to, and doesn't want to let her just be her own person, and she hates that. She gets very frustrated with it, and, so she kind of rebels against that, and Liza's kind of part of that, but Liza's really just kind of a catalyst. It would have happened with or without her, but Liza is kind of the catalyst. She's really, I like Liza a lot. She's really snarky, and I like the fact that they're both really snarky and sassy. They're both, their relationship is a lot of bickering back and forth, and it's a lot of fun to write. I really like writing about them. Yeah.